I've been getting a lot of questions about anatomy of late, and since anatomy and geeky stuff is my jam, you're getting a bit of a biology lesson today. I'm Lorna of Lorna Green Yoga, and in this video I'll briefly cover what polyvagal theory is and how it relates to the way you store stress in your body. Poly translates as many, and vagal means relating to the vagus nerve. That's the long meandering nerve that runs through the length of your body from the base of the brain all the way down to the abdomen to the gut, and it has several branches. It's the longest and most complex of the cranial nerves, supplying sensory, special sensory, motor and parasympathetic innervation to structures of the head, the neck and both the thoracic and abdominal cavities. Polyvagal theory was developed by Stephen Porges, whose research revolutionised our understanding of how we process stress in the body. Before his work, stress was previously seen in a very black and white way. You were either stressed or not stressed. The stress response was seen more like a switch that gets flipped on when a threat is imminent. You deal with said threat and then you flip the switch and shift back to relative calm. What Porges discovered is that our nervous system is far more nuanced than this. There are actually multiple states of activation within the autonomic nervous system, and he identified 3 levels, a bit like rungs on a ladder, that you either move up or down. So let's look first at ventral vagal social engagement. A bit of a mouthful, I know, but let me break it down. Ventral means front, and this rung of the ladder relates to a branch of the vagus nerve towards the front of the body. This is the part of your nervous system that allows you to connect and relate to those around you, to be present with another person. It's where you experience empathy, you can interpret facial expressions and find emotions like joy and love. It's the part of you that lets you read the room. When you're on this bottom rung of the ladder, you feel safe, secure, and generally pretty good. Then we come to sympathetic activation. Now this rung is what you would likely associate with stress. This is the fight or flight part of you, where you're motivated to take action in order to deal with a perceived threat. Now you might experience emotions and behaviours like fear, anxiety, increased aggression and hyperactivity. Sympathetic activation can't be sustained for long periods, but modern life stresses are unrelenting. We're exposed to job stress, financial pressure, traffic noise, pollution. The list is so long, and all of these things mean your body has to find a way to deal with extended sympathetic activation. So what happens when a stressor doesn't have a definitive ending? Oh, I don't know, say like a global pandemic that may go on forever? Well, enter dorsal vagal shutdown. The term relates to a branch of the vagus nerve towards the back of the body. It's a part of your nervous system that is incredibly old, a primal part of your anatomy that hasn't evolved or changed in eons. So if you're stuck in a prolonged period of sympathetic activation or stress, your body realises you can't sustain it, and it deals with it the only way it knows how, to switch gears. It sends you into dorsal vagal shutdown to put a cap on the chaos. Now this is a place of immobilisation. You can become catatonic, unable to take action. Lethargy, despondency and an inability to self-motivate are all common signs that you're here. Now you might feel shame or like you're a victim, helpless at the mercy of the whims of the world. You may appear really chill, in fact maybe overly tranquil for the situation. At the other end of the scale, it can trigger strong emotions and sudden bursts of anger that seem to come out of nowhere. Your nervous system is super complex, and at any one time you can have an interplay of all 3 of these levels. Being in either of the 2 higher rung states means you're more likely to be sensitized to pain. You see everything in the world as threatening. Neutral facial expressions will look more angry. An excited puppy out for a walk looks like a vicious killer ready to pounce. Your perception becomes very distorted towards a dangerous world. This dysregulated state leaves you exhausted. You can't function at optimum level. Your ability to recover from physical aches, pains and illnesses reduces. Your mental performance decreases, and you're more likely to make mistakes, which rather cruelly leads to even greater stress. Now just reflecting for a minute, When the whole world looks threatening, how do you think you'll relate to the people around you? The stress state makes it nearly impossible to build healthy relationships. Now, on a physical level, parts of the sympathetic nerves are found along the front of the spine. So when active, your back muscles get super tight and rigid. Now, if you've got back tension that doesn't shift through massage, foam rolling, and other hands-on physical practices, it's likely that if you could shift out of the stress state, your back tension will ease. Now, that has got to be worth knowing, right? Navigating the rungs of this ladder is not about changing your thoughts or beliefs. It's beneficial to become aware of your patterns and what's shaping you. But what I'm talking about here is entirely physical, and there are specific exercises and movements that you can learn to regulate your nervous system on a day-to-day basis. Now, this video is a pared down version of a vast topic, one which you might want to explore further through books like Stephen Porges' The Polyvagal Theory, or another great read is Accessing the Healing Power of the Vagus Nerve by Stanley Rosenberg. And of course, you always have access to the internet, a tremendous resource to tap into. So I hope this quick romp through the science bit helps you to understand the workings of this incredibly complex system. And if you want to try some of the quick and easy to follow exercises that help to disrupt stuck patterns in your nervous system, subscribe to the channel and check out these videos.